Brought to you by NORDIC Podcast.
So Philip van der Werve. Did I pronounce it right? I mean,
Almost.
we go way back, but
Yeah.
I'm asking your last name now, if I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's good.
I pronounce it wrong all the time, so I guess you should be allowed to.
Well, I'm glad you could find time to come here
Yeah.
because I feel there's a lot you can contribute. I mean, you do know this is a cultural and entrepreneurial podcast,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of people out there who are just starting. You are a serial entrepreneur in a field that has nothing to do with you. I mean, you transport cars.
Yeah.
But you're a high school dropout,
Yeah.
and you bring in let's put it this way, you run a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
So there's obviously something you know that people don't, and it was obviously not taught in high school.
No, you don't learn a lot there. You learn how to get by in life. That's what you learn in school.
Really?
You learn how to get by. Just
Right, get
basically get by. Like you learn how to read so you can get a job.
Right.
You learn how to do basic stuff. But no, I dropped out when I was 15. So I was just a kid.
How did your parents allow you to drop out?
They wanted me to. So it wasn't my choice.
So wait.
Yeah.
That's you see, that's cheating, because that's every kid's dream.
Yeah.
But were the conditions to your dropout?
No.
No?
There was no condition. It was just, you don't need school anymore. I was like, why? I was the kid saying, why? Why do I, like, what the fuck's going on? I was like, for one entire day, I was like, what the fuck? My
So-
dad doesn't want me to go to school?
That's how did your mom react?
She wasn't alive at the time, so she
Oh.
didn't have time to, on the
didn't know
opportunity.
that. Right.
Nah, but don't worry. But yeah, he didn't want me to go. He was like, no, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna ride motocross. We're gonna travel. You don't have time for school. Like, what kind of parent does that, you know?
The
Like,
best
there's no,
kind.
yeah. Yeah, but my childhood ripped.
Right.
It was amazing. Like, I had so much fun.
So, I mean, there are people, obviously, young entrepreneurs out there
Yeah.
listening. Those who don't have fathers that are match made in heaven like this, where they encourage them to drop out of school.
It
and-
doesn't matter. None of those things matter.
Right.
Listen, all right. I didn't start to develop in these periods of my life. Listen, I wouldn't change my childhood for anything.
Right.
I had so much fun. I enjoyed life. I lived it to the fullest. But change doesn't come through having fun. Change comes through adversity.
Mm.
So I didn't start to change as an entrepreneur until we lost everything.
Mm.
We had everything. Life was just ripping like fucking crazy. We were living in the US, driving dirt bikes, and that was it. Until my dad lost his entire company. We lost everything, full bankruptcy, no money. That's when, I had to wake up the entrepreneur in me and start to make money because I didn't have any education. So we started, trying to build companies. Some failed.
How many companies did you guys go through?
We went through 3.
3 companies.
Yeah.
Before you landed this one.
Before, yeah. And they led up to that one.
Right.
It's insane how it just worked out. Because you just set on a path. And as long as you have your vision of something good's going to happen from this, something's good is going to happen from
Exactly.
it. You might not know the details. And as far as I've learned this far in life, fuck details. You don't need them.
So is that the mindset that you feel is needed to have, is obligatory to have, a mindset of leaving things to chance, a mindset of like
Yeah, at least not trying to obsessively control every aspect of everything, because you're just going to kill yourself if you try to do that. If you
Right.
start a company today and you obsess over everything, it's going to break you. You need to obsess over the good things, the main vision, the goal, the fun, the life, the love, of that company. And yeah, then you'll get it.
that's what
That's what I think.
So why transport?
Why transport? That's good. Now we were selling transport. We started a company that was set aside, another different company. We've always been in tech, developing systems.
Okay.
We have that in our knowledge. We know how to develop things. We have that, and we made a website trying to sell transport. All right.
Or how do you sell transport?
Yeah, somebody posts like something they want. and we connected them to suppliers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Craigslist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hit a nerve.
Let's say that. Almost. Yeah.
Right.
But you found transport, not
Right.
people.
Shoes.
Yeah. All right. Let's say it like. All right, but anyways, the company was way too expensive, and we didn't have the knowledge, the know-how to bring a website alive. The only thing we could conclude with, like at some point, I think it was like on a second year mark. So I feel like we kind of gave up.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same sense, it just felt wrong, right? Something was, out of place. I felt it's not going to work out the way we want. We have to circle back to this later in life. And I'm still going to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm going to circle back to it. But I saw right now, you learned a lot, cut your losses. There's another opening here.
Gained experience, though.
Yes, a lot of experience. We used the experience starting shipping cars, which we learned from the website because there was a lot of people needing shipment of cars.
Right.
So we started using our own website to get jobs. And it kind of just levitated towards that and became this company that just kept growing really, really fast.
Right.
And we used all the information, everything we learned about marketing, put it in the new company. Suddenly it was just overtaking everything.
That's incredible. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah.
So one thing led to another.
Right. No, the amount of ground you guys have covered in how long?
5 years, 6 years.
6 years. But you have won, was it a Gazelle Award?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is, what is it? What's a Gazelle Award?
It is an award that any company that has doubled
Mm-hmm.
their revenue in 4 years in a row.
Doubled in 4 years.
Yes, you need to double every time, right? You make one, you need to make two, then you need to make four,
Right.
and then
Right.
right? If you do that, you qualify
That's
for
crazy.
this award, and you get it. And you need also, you can't have high revenue but losing money. Like you need
Of course.
you need a surplus.
Of course.
All right? They don't care about the surplus, but it needs to be a surplus. So if you do this, you get it.
There are not a lot of millennials running car transportation companies.
There are none. There's just me.
But that's it. It's a very strange, unorthodox area to not only enter, but to dominate in so much that you take over almost the industry in the country.
Yeah.
And then the guy's a kid. Well, a kid.
Kid, yeah, you can say
But
that.
compared to the guys that are...
The guys owning the other companies
Yeah.
are pretty grown guys.
Yeah.
Like they're 60.
Yeah.
They're older guys.
Yeah.
They're older gentlemen. But that's the thing. That's why it was a success. Because it's not a big industry. You got
Right.
like 10, 12 different companies out there trying to do the same thing.
Mhm.
They're all doing the same thing. We just try to do things differently. We took our experience with development, added it to this new thing, and people loved it.
Amazing.
They enjoyed it. They saw us as the superior supplier in terms of service, communication. Because all people want to know, it's quite simple. If you're shipping a car, if you bought a car, let's say you bought a car, what do you want to know? If you order shipment, what do you want to know? All right,
When is it coming?
Yeah, when is it coming?
Right.
That's one.
Price and when is it coming? I don't think.
You don't give a shit about anything else. You
Yeah.
don't need to over-analyze
Yeah.
what people want. They want it fast, and they want it for a reasonable price. Don't even have to be the cheapest. Like, we're not
Yeah.
the cheapest.
Really?
No,
Yeah, there you go.
pretty far away from it. A lot of people pay a lot more for our services because they trust us. They think that if I choose NBT, I'm going to get the car a lot faster. And I don't want to wait 2 more extra weeks for something I might sell and make 100,000 on this week.
Yeah, I get that. I see that. So I guess the question is, because as I said, there are a lot of people who are entrepreneurs. I mean, it's the fastest growing job description in this decade, entrepreneurship, by a lot.
I know.
But
it's
obviously,
crazy.
not everyone is where you are. So obviously, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're doing something right by far. What would you say? Like, what is the one thing the one advice you would give? Let's say you're a friend or someone who's starting.
You need to implement the right mindset. Like you need to love what you're doing, and you need to focus on all the good things. Because then you're manifesting the good things. Because it's like this: wherever you put your focus, that's what's going to emulate in your reality.
Right.
Whatever you create from your head, that's what you're going to get. And trust me, there's going to be so much adversity. If you start a company, like a lot of people bail out, when they start a company, they don't survive the first 3-year-old rule. They don't get through the first 3 years. And obviously they will say things like, I didn't have the money.
I see your point.
Yeah.
They will obviously shift the blame to...
They will see the problems. Like, of course you didn't have fucking money. I didn't have fucking money. Like, come on. Like, fuck off. Like, don't come here and tell me you failed because you didn't have fucking money, because none of us had. Yeah. What startup has? All right, what did you do about the problem? If they're unable to answer that question, fuck you.
Right.
Come on, really.
That's very cutthroat, but it's straight to the point.
It is like it is. Like, you need, but with a positive mindset and not focusing on the problems, because you can't obviously do that. You don't have money. Oh, it's a problem, right? There's no money. Instead, you're focusing on the solutions. All right, I don't have money.
You have to get money. I mean, even in physics, we see that in string theory, where they say the observer actually changes the way a particle behaves.
Yeah. Why is it doing that? Why is it that this particle only exists, in a sense, if you're putting your energy, your attention towards it?
Right. It's scary.
It's scary. It is scary, but it puts everything in perspective. Yeah. If you can see the world through quantum mechanics, you'll understand that having a negative mindset or burying yourself in issues or problems is going to completely just create a bad cycle for you. And you don't need that when you're building a company. All right? If you're doing less in life, you can live with this kind of mindset. But if you're building a company, you need faith. You need a shitload of faith, because you're going to go through a lot of shit.
So how do you get faith practically?
Well,
do you just fail a lot?
Yeah.
Fall down enough times to understand, okay, there's ground beneath my feet?
I am so thankful for all my fails. I am so thankful for all my losses. I've lost millions.
Right.
I have gone through so many years without money. And when I look back at it, that's why I am who I am. Because I decided to focus on the good things and keep pushing. Because how the fuck are you going to win with somebody who never gives up? You're just always happy. Like, you can't. Like, it doesn't matter what forces are trying to hold you back. If you don't give a shit, you're just always happy. You're just always focused on that one thing you want. Nothing sets you aside. Nothing puts you out of balance. You're going to get it. It's that simple.
It really, I mean, you put it in a really simple way. I'll be honest. And I'm sure people hearing or listening will understand that these things in theory work. Obviously, in practical for you, it works as well. But it sounds like, is it leaving things to chance?
That's the thing. It becomes kind of jibber jabber if you don't really know, if you haven't really experienced what a mindset can do, what a mindset can manifest for a person in life. If you haven't really been able to map it out, experienced it, it kind of becomes jibber jabbish,
Right.
Because everybody, but I need to do stuff. I need to push. I need to push. I need to push. I need to do things all the time. And yeah, you need to do that. But if it comes from within, that's just going to happen. It doesn't need to be forced. If the mindset is there, if the love is there, if the gratitude is there, if you're already grateful before you get everything, you'll attract it. So you don't need. You're not leaving it to chance, even though it feels like it. You're attracting it instead of fighting to get it. You're attracting it like a magnet instead. That's what I'm trying to. That I know it becomes a little bit like jibber jabbish, but it's
what's funny is the higher up you go in entrepreneurial levels, the more you see people don't talk about you have to work really, really hard. They talk about this actually. Talk about mindset, mind, body, soul, taking care of yourself, work more on changing what you put out, so what you put out comes to you. So it actually
they're praising this, laziness, almost like they're praising people who's willing to stop sometimes, just rest instead of keep fighting, putting in 18 hours, like going like a crazy badass. Because you're gonna burn out. You need balance.
Then how do you rest? How do you not burn out? Because I know you have a kid. I know you're a serial entrepreneur. You've gone through 3 different startups. You're on your fourth one.
Yeah.
And also, I know that you obviously work out.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of sessions together.
A couple. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
how do you relax?
It's all in the mind. You don't have to sit down to relax. You don't have to lay on a fucking couch and call this relaxing. All right? If your mind is in balance, your emotions are in balance, you are relaxing as you're doing whatever you're doing.
I see what you're saying. It's almost like the
it's what's manifesting in your head that decides if you are burning out or healing yourself.
Actually, that's funny you mentioned, because it's exactly that in medicine, we see the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, so the fight or flight response in healing or in cell growth. And during survival mode, during fight or flight, we see a lack of cell growth.
Probably nothing.
Yeah.
Probably nothing.
You can only grow when you're not in the fight or flight response.
You grow with love. You don't grow with pain. You don't grow with stress. You grow when your body is in balance, when you're happy. So, and trust me, I wasn't always like this. You know, I built the company for 6 years. I went 5 of them through hell. All right, you're gonna fucking lash out a couple of times. Trust me, you're human. But it's how much time you decide to spend, you know, when things go bad. It's the amount of time you spend in that emotion that decides, you know. Some people get obsessed over this and they can't sleep. They cannot rest. So it's the emotion that's draining them, not the life, not the work.
The state.
It's the state that's killing them.
If there was one takeaway you would give to someone listening, what would that be? Like an entrepreneur, or let's say your kid wants to drop out of high school, because I know you're a parent.
Yeah.
And she's like, you obviously say yes, I'm pretty sure, because you know your dad said yes, but she wants to start entrepreneurship. Should she also, what advice would you give her? What one thing? Because obviously there's something you know.
There is. And what I know is that I spend a lot of time knowing. Like, I spend a lot of time figuring shit out.
Okay.
So if I could do anything to shorten that time span for her, that'd be amazing, right? Like, because it's not necessary. Some people get it in a year. Some people are born with it.
Right.
Some people need 10 years. Some people go their entire life without knowing how to change their mindset and manifest their own reality. So that would be, like, what would that be the most important thing? Having a clear goal, a clear manifestation of what you need? It doesn't have to be 100% clear. It doesn't have to be mapped out in all its details. Leave it to Entropy, all right? There's a lot of things in this journey. I like that. Yeah, there's so many things you don't need to specify. You don't need to obsess about it. Just leave it to Entropy. But the most important thing is that you have this clear visualization of how you want to feel when you hit your goal, where you want to be in life, what you want to obtain. Like, it doesn't have to be mapped out in clear detail, but you need to know what do you need to be in love with life. What do you want? And if you know these things, dude, you know twice as much as I did when I started. That's amazing. When I was 17, I had no mentor except for my dad. But my dad has always had this. Like, he's always had this drive that as long as I keep going, nothing's going to stop me. As long as I don't, crumble under the problems, I'm going to win. So I just had to emulate it. He didn't sit down with me explaining me, like, this is how it works. This is how you get it. But he did it. And doing it is the best parenting you can do. That's like, true. Do it, be it. If you want your kid to do it, be it yourself. And that's what he did. So that's what kind of got me on the right track. I was emulating him. Yeah. Walking like him, talking like him. Right. Becoming him, in a sense. So before we wrap up, I just wanted to give something, because you brushed really closely on that topic. Yeah. But I will rephrase the question. What are people doing wrong? All the 90% of new entrepreneurs, what are they doing wrong? What they're doing wrong? What are they doing wrong? Mindset. Yeah. They don't have the mindset. That's the core message. That is the core message. Change your mindset. You need to... Yeah, and it's not easy. Like, you can't just go one day, go to one seminar, everybody feels great, power to you, love. You need to find a discreet way of building this inside you. Like okay, I do this. It sounds ridiculous, but it works for me.
Right.
I tell myself 3, 4, 5 times a day that I'm immortal.
Yeah,
you know this.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, you know this.
it's so annoying in the gym.
It's not.
It's so annoying when we're in the gym and you're saying that. I'm like, you obviously aren't because you're not lifting that or you're lifting that too much. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm the world's strongest, but I'm immortal.
I cannot die. But the thing is, I am telling myself something of value. All right, I am telling myself that I'm indestructible, that I'm unlimited. Of course, I know if I jump out, I don't know what floor we're on. I think we're 4, 5.
You might not die actually.
Yeah, I might not die.
You might be immortal on this floor.
But the point is, like, it's not the point because the body doesn't understand this outer world.
Right.
All right? It does not understand this outer world. Whatever you tell it, it's going to be like, oh, shit, yeah, fuck yeah.
No,
yeah, that's how it works.
That is how it works. And
so it listens to whatever you're telling it. I'm telling myself I'm fucking immortal.
Right.
So my body's going to be like, shit. Fuck yeah, we're
actually
immortal.
no. You have a point there.
Yeah, my cells go like crazy. I really feel it.
Right. No, honestly, we are basically a brain in a glass jar. So the brain is floating in your skull, which is surrounded by liquid. And the only way our perception and senses get to that brain is based on electric impulses and signals through sense of smell, sight, hearing. And how you perceive those electric impulses is how the brain will perceive the entire world. So if you perceive it negatively, your world is
negative.
Living hell. Yeah.
It's a living hell. And for any bystander to even see it, it's hard because he's living in another world. And he might have less. He might have shitloads less, but it's in the fucking mindset. So if the mind loves life, life is amazing. Even though it's fucking shit. Like if you stand to the side and like, all right, he's got no money.
Focus on it. Yeah.
He doesn't know how to pay for food.
Right.
Like, it's not a good thing. You can't focus on the bad stuff. And especially when you start a company, there's a shitload of the bad stuff. You don't have any clients yet. You haven't made any sale yet.
Right.
So fucking what? So fucking what? Right. I don't give a shit how fast shit happens for you. I give a shit. I care about perseverance. I care about patterns. Right. I care about what people do every day, what they put in, and that they don't focus on that short-term gratification, that you can tell that their goal is just to make this happen. Like their mind is not in the material. Like, oh, I want to get that car. I want to impress those people. They don't give a shit about any of those things.
No, it reminds me.
They only give a shit about the vision. The vision, right? If you find yourself not giving a shit about the vision, but you're giving a shit about what everybody thinks, that car you want to buy, those clothes you want to get to impress somebody, be the fucking guy at the bar buying the champagne. Like if those are if that's your motivation for entrepreneurship, it's like, sorry mate, it's not for you. It's not going to work out.
And especially if you enter this world with a negative mindset of hooking into the past or into
reliving problems all the time. Because the thing is, a problem can be one problem or it can be a daily problem, a million problems, but it's still just fucking one problem. Right. If you leave it to that, then it's just one problem. All right? You might lose your apartment because you don't have money. All right, sucks. Get more money.
Get past it. Yeah.
Get past it. All right, if you lose it, so what? What's going to happen? You're going to die? Yeah. No, you're not going to die. You're going to survive. You're going to do something. You're going to adapt.
Right. But that's it. As they say, history repeats itself, or history often repeats itself, but it usually tends to rhyme. So it might repeat itself similarly.
Yeah, but it is a cycle that has manifested from some previous problems that you have. So if you never make money, you're always obsessed about not making money, you're never going to make money.
Right.
Because you're obsessed about it in a negative way.
Right.
But if you don't keep those things aside and just love the vision, money will gravitate towards you. So you need to think like a magnet. Don't chase, become...
Attract.
Attract, yeah. Attract instead of chasing. That mindset, that's what you need.
I think this is a message that most people, a lot of people might have heard. Most people don't know how to emulate.
Yeah, it is hard.
Don't know how to emulate.
It is hard. I'll say like it's fucking hard. I don't even know I'm barely entering this world myself. That I see that if I want, and I expect it to happen, but with love and care and with a vision, and with passion, I can tell that it's happening. But I don't know the details about this world yet. I haven't seen its full manifestation because I'm still 28. I have so much to do.
That's amazing. You've already lived like 2-3 lifetimes.
Yeah.
Already opened almost 4 companies. The awards you've won in this, and even your sports career. So I'm really looking forward to inviting you back on the show.
I'll be back 1 year, and we're gonna fucking arm wrestle. I swear to God. We have to.
When was the last time we did that?
It's half a year, maybe more.
Half a year.
But it wasn't really like, nah.
We're not even in the same weight class anymore. All right, we'll take a rain check on that.
Yeah.
Dude, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
amazing. Yeah.